right, what is happening, everybody? Welcome to episode number 20 of the Bards of Gaming podcast, and I am very excited to announce a couple of quick things this week before we get into the episode. So, if you don't know from the episode's title, this week it is episode 20. Every week, every episode that I get to jump or release one of these, I just get so excited because, back around like episode 7, I was having a hard time wanting to keep going, and the fact that we're at episode 20 now is just, I can't believe it. I'm having so much fun. I love doing this every couple of weeks. It's a blast. And so we are covering God of War 2018 this week, and I am super, super excited. Also, super excited to announce I finally have some listener comments to share. That just makes my day. So I put out a post, and I'm finally starting to kind of get the hang of this social media thing. I have never in my life been much of a poster. I'm a very private person. I always have been. So like, even using the stage name like Robert, that is actually my name. I spell it differently. My name is Robert, but I'm French, so I pronounce it that way. And then I just spelled it a little differently, but like that's why everybody calls me Rob. But like I'm a very private person, so I've never really been much of one to share a lot or post a lot, really. So even on my main private social medias, I don't post anything. I have like one annual profile picture update. But when it comes to podcasting, I've really been trying to make more of an effort to be more interactive and try to I'm trying to be able to interact more with anybody who listens and anybody who enjoys the show. And the fact that anybody comments back on the things that I post or anybody reaches out and shoots me a DM, I can't tell you how much that makes my day. Like every time that I get a sincere comment saying like, hey buddy, keep it up. I love the show. That just, I screenshot it and send it to all my friends. I'm like, this just made my day. So about a week ago, I recorded the episode that we're going to, that you're going to hear in a little bit. And I put out a tweet, I don't know what the hell to call it now. I'm still going to call it Twitter. But I put out a tweet basically asking for anybody's feedback on the game. Anybody who's played the game, let me know what you think. Like, let me know what you think of this game, and I will happily share it on the episode. So here we go. I got three comments back. One from Aeon Driver Gaming, who I've shouted out on the show before. He has an awesome page. He's a major, major collector, and he's got some really wicked games out there. Things that are kind of hard to find, so I highly recommend you go check him out on Instagram. I've tagged him in the descriptions of some of the episodes before. I'll put his name down there again. Go check him out. And he commented, hell yeah, so many twists and turns and iconic moments, from all the Valkyrie fights to every moment with Freya and Baldur, and the over-the-shoulder camera scheme was a game changer. It absolutely was. I cannot agree with that more. And you're going to hear all my thoughts about the game going into this episode. I didn't really touch on the camera angle change. For anybody who doesn't know, like the first, really every God of War before this game was kind of like a sort of a top-down, not top-down, but like a third-person hack and slash game. And this was the first game that kind of went for the same kind of camera angle you would find in like Resident Evil 4. And it changed everything. So thank you, Aeon Driver. I'm super happy you commented. And then my buddy Patback96 commented, God of War 2018 is where I fell in love with the franchise. They took a huge risk changing it up as much as they did, and it worked. It's a beautifully told story, addicting as hell combat system, near perfect game. Again, cannot agree more. And listen to the end of the episode and you'll hear my rating on the game. I very much agree. I don't know how to say your name. I'm probably going to butcher this, but Jgarce123 commented, this one's actually pretty funny. I like this one. He says, besides Sigrun, who was the hardest boss in the game? Also, be honest, did you turn the difficulty down to beat any of the bosses? And I commented back, commented on his comment saying, I did not turn the difficulty down for any of the bosses, which I'm actually very proud of. However, I did not beat all the Valkyries. I pussied out after a while, kind of ran out of time, and just, they were hard. They're very hard. We do touch on that in the episode, me and Parker. So he commented back very shortly after saying, you're no real God of War. And I cracked up at that one. I lost it. But yeah, so that, I really can't say thank you guys enough. I love hearing the feedback. I love reading your comments and interacting with you guys. So please, feel free, reach out. I really encourage it. Love to talk to you guys. You can find me, and I'll just drop my shout outs. They're my own plugs now. But you can find me on Instagram at The Bards of Gaming. You can find me on Twitter or X at 2bardsofgaming with the number 2. And all links to my socials as well as my email can be found on my website at thebardsofgamingpodcast.com. So find me there. But I wanted to also real quick just announce that there are 2 weeks left on the t-shirt giveaway that I'm running right now in the month of June 2024. So in the very last episode, which I think dropped on like June 1st, I announced that I'm doing a t-shirt giveaway. And I've been wanting to do this for months, since my girlfriend designed the merchandise and I was able to finally get t-shirts just so I could wear to some of the conventions and stuff. And I've been wanting to do this to share and just give away a t-shirt because it helps to get the word out. And I'm really excited to do this. So the whole giveaway is running the whole length of the month of June. So you have up until the 28th to follow the rules and basically enter the giveaway. All the rules and everything can be found in the description of the post on my Instagram. You can't miss it. There's one post that's got just giveaway written all over it, literally. So if you go there and read the description, it says to like that post, follow the page, comment your favorite game that you would like to see me cover on the show, and tag 2 friends. So it's free to enter. Recommend you do it. And then if you win, basically at the end of the month, I'm going to be taking everybody's names that is eligible to win, and I'm going to enter it into a randomizer and then basically draw a name out of a hat. Whoever wins, I'm going to try to reach out to you. If I don't hear back from you in a few days, I'll go to the runner-up. But I'll reach out to you for shipping information, stuff like that, and we'll get you a free t-shirt. I will also invite you to be a guest on the show to talk about your favorite game once I'm able to get around to playing it, if I haven't already. So, yeah, enter that. And last couple things I'll say is games I'm playing now. If anybody are interested, I have been streaming more often lately, trying to again. And I've been streaming Enshrouded, which, if any of you don't know what Enshrouded is, it's a really fun, really interesting. It's kind of like, I don't know if I can call it like an action-adventure RPG. It's like a survival crafting game, but it's got a lot of really cool RPG elements to it, and I highly recommend you check it out, especially if you're a PC gamer. It's really, really fun. I would love to try to maybe get some people together in a new world on that. I think that would be cool. Kind of have like a community group game. I think that'd be pretty sick. I've also been playing, I've kind of stopped playing Dismantle. And for any of those of you who wanted to see me stream that, I do apologize. That game kind of just became what I was playing while I was watching school lectures. So, like, I don't know, I didn't really have time to stream it. Plus, I kind of hit a roadblock with it, and I didn't beat it. I'm at the very end of it. But there's such a monster difficulty spike right up at the end. I'll give it another try, but I might not finish that one. That one I'm just playing up to wrap up for an episode of the show. That'll be another solo indie game episode. And then I've still been just, chipping away at Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the intro, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, love to hear your feedback. Shoot me a message, email, comment, whatever. Leave a like, leave a follow, leave a rating, and I will see you guys in the episode. Thank you. Hope you enjoy. So welcome to episode 20. Finally, I can't believe we've made it this far, and we are joined here this week with my buddy Parker, who you may or may not remember from the Spider-Man episode. Parker, buddy, how you doing?
What's up, Rob? What's up, listeners? How y'all doing?
Well, I'm not a listener, but I'm pretty good. So I mean,
you got to talk to somebody. Might as well make someone up,
Dude, there's no better listener than yourself.
Damn, Skippy.
So This week, if people couldn't tell from the title of the episode, we're actually going to be talking about the 2018 God of War, which I believe, and I know we discussed this when we talked Spider-Man, but I'm like 99% sure that this game won Game of the Year in
I think you're
2018.
right too. You could be 100% right on that. Cause like, I know once I got in my PlayStation 4, cause I got it late in the game. I literally got my PlayStation 4 the year the 5 came out. I
That's all you
remember
could
it was
get.
like, exactly. It was, I remember it was like the greatest hits edition or whatever, like one of those like, fancy red box PlayStation games. So I think it
Yeah.
was probably the game of the year, I would think. I mean, and if it wasn't, it should have gotten it because it was a phenomenal game.
Dude, like this game, oh my God. I've played almost all of the God of War titles. I've played all of the
Really?
mainline ones except for Ragnarok. Yeah. I didn't play the PSP ones or PS Vita ones. Like I didn't play those. I played through like half of Ascension, but 1, 2, and 3 were life-changing experiences for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. You and me both. I have three remastered. That's on like my PlayStation 5 now.
Nice.
I've gone through that once already, and then like 1 and 2 I played years ago on like a friend's console. But still, they're tremendous games. I love the lore to it all too.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just incredible.
I'm a massive fan of like mythology, whether it be like Greek or Celtic, whatever. But
Definitely.
and it's so funny because like actually like right next to me on my bookshelf, I have like these special Barnes and Noble edition like uh myths and tales like hardcover books,
That's
all for
awesome.
like Norse mythology, whatever. I love this shit.
Hell yeah.
But
Hell yeah.
yeah, dude, like so we're gonna talk the 2018 God of War, which was when they finally revamped the games like head to toe and blew
Mhm.
everyone's mind. Um, I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like we're gonna start with the dislikes pretty much of this
Mm.
game.
Let's do it
After
because it's better to end on a good note.
absolutely. And but before we even do that, like I just want to ask you, like, okay, clearly you and I both have some history with this game, but what was your first experience with playing a God of War title? Not even just this one, because our experience with it goes way back, apparently.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, I remember. I just remember seeing God of War 1, and I wasn't even playing at the time. I remember watching my buddy Eric play it, and I remember just like, and as a child with imagination, the only, at the time, the only real Greek mythological, introduction I ever had was 1996's Disney's Hercules.
Which is a
So like,
phenomenal movie.
yes, dude. I could recite every word if we want to. So, but no, like seeing the gameplay of this and seeing the wrath of the gods and what
Oh
could
yeah.
be. I mean, dude, that's what drew me in was just the blood and the anger and the just straight up chaos.
And the polygon tits.
Damn right. Definitely them big old honkers.
So like I think I played the first God of War when I was like, because I first got my PS3 like when I think we talked about this on the last episode, but I got my
Might have.
PS3 like halfway through high school,
Okay.
so a little bit late in the game for that, and
Yeah.
so I remember like I got my PS3 for Uncharted and God of War. And
Aha.
when I played the first God of War game, like in the first 5 minutes, like when you see that, you're like, oh, hello.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But so you did eventually go through and play the first few in the series, right?
I've only played 1, 2, and 3. Any other God of War iteration, I have not touched, unfortunately.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
Ascension was kind of cool, but I don't know, in my opinion, a little bit unnecessary. It's prequel.
Right, yeah, I remember seeing the gameplay to it and thinking like, okay, it's just like a sidestep, but
Yeah.
you know.
But to get back on track for 2018 God of War,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter when you played it because I don't know. I don't know what to ask about this game, but uh, to jump into dislikes, do you, like Do you have any?
Well, I mean, I guess I could say, and maybe it's just getting up there in age. I mean, I am literally turning 28 tomorrow, June 7th.
Oh,
Shout
shit.
out.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
man. Thank you, buddy. I don't know if it's maybe just my reaction time isn't great with gaming. Maybe it's just I'm not that good at the game and I need to dumb it down a little on the difficulty level. But like my one dislike that I never beat of the game was any of the Valkyries, dude. Like,
That's fair though.
yeah, I mean it's fair, but like that's really like my only about it because it's the one thing I have yet to complete. I
Yeah.
probably won't because I'm pretty, if I'm not mistaken, once getting the 5, I had done everything on the 4, and I don't know if the data transferred correctly or not. I don't know. I haven't even touched that game yet. I've been so busy with other ones, but um, I did. Yeah, I did want to go. I did at least watch some like God of War gameplay just so I knew, so I wasn't so rusty. It's been probably like 4 or 5 months since I've touched it. But nah,
Yeah.
literally that was like I said, the Valkyries being as hard as they are was my only kind of complaint. That was, I can't say anything bad against the game really.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, like I, I agree with you because I mean, what are there like 9 Valkyries in total? There's like
I
something
think
like that.
so.
7.
9, maybe 10, 9, and then I think the queen would be 10,
Okay. I mean, like
maybe.
the challenge. I believe they're all kind of a similar level of challenge. Um,
Hmm.
Different, there's different attack patterns for each one, if I'm not mistaken. But I think I beat 3 of them.
Oh wow, that's
That's
3 more than me, man.
that's about it. Like
uh,
I don't think I even found all of them, but there was a couple I remember I tried going up against, and I'm talking like after I had beaten the game and even done at like a lot of the side quests,
mm,
and upgraded equipment substantially, like I still couldn't beat some of them. They're tough, but
yeah,
I appreciate them for the standpoint of like something that I'll touch more on when we actually get to the like section. But God
yeah.
of War games have always done, in my opinion, a great job at having content for all skill levels. And if you're not of that skill level, get there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could agree to that 110%.
um, so I mean, like I like the Valkyries. I think it's cool. I don't know if what they like the side story about them is like canon or continues to the second game, but whatever. I could definitely get on that point.
Mm.
Do you have anything else?
Uh, Honestly, no, dude. I can't. I can't complain about anything with that game. Like I just remember, my first playthrough on it. I ended up, I do like the new game plus probably 2 times afterwards. I
Wow.
just, yeah, I'm just in awe of that story, dude. It's fun. It's heavy. I can't. I have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, dude. It's honestly it's a super good game. Like the only thing I literally wrote like on my little short list of like dislikes here, the
Right?
first thing that I wrote is quote unquote virtually nothing. I actually had to like scrape the edges of my brain to even come up with anything to put in this section. Um, and the only thing that I could think of was that it was sometimes sort of difficult to find some of the side mission locations due to the map design.
Yes, yes. That okay, I could definitely agree to that. That is, yeah, because the way the talismans on the screen are is so vague, and then just like the mapping of the overall map to it can be a bit troublesome.
Yeah, like I love the map layout. I think it's really cool how like when you go into the map and you zoom out all the way, like you can see the dead giant like laying
Yes,
there. Like I
definitely.
think
Yeah, yeah, it's like a giant treasure map almost.
yeah, like I thought that the detail of the map was so fucking cool. And I thought that they had
Definitely.
like the fact that they had different maps for the different realms, I thought was I don't know. I liked the map. I really did. But I
Hmm.
remember specifically like getting towards the very end of the game and there was that one side mission that you get like really early on in the game and it was for the forge. Like those two brothers like they want you to go to
Yes.
this old forge. I could not fucking find that.
Dude, now that I'm thinking back to it, I remember it taking a hot minute to get to the forge. 'Cause it was like, I don't know, it was like some random like little wall you had to climb up or something, right? To like get into it.
Yeah, it was like it was so out of the way, and I couldn't
Yeah.
find it for so long. I went the entire game without finding it because I thought that maybe because it was so hard to find that it was going to be really difficult and be like an end game challenge,
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
which is not.
Right.
Like they just want you to backtrack a significant amount and then take
Mhm.
this like really like discrete side route that you normally like it's kind of hard to see. I mean, granted, this game plays in a lot of ways like a Metroidvania, and I'm going to touch more on this later, but like you can't get to certain areas until you unlock certain abilities.
Right, 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 right.
So that's another reason why I was like, when I got the mission, I went looking for it, couldn't find it right away, and instantly thought to myself, okay, maybe I gotta come back later.
Right, yeah, that is a gripe that I can also agree to. It's ugh.
Yeah. But that's like my only one.
Yeah, I told you, dude. Well, all we play is good games. Like,
I know. And like it seems like all I cover is good games, minus Donkey Kong 64. And if you haven't listened to that episode, anybody, please, I implore you to listen to me and my buddy rip that one a new one. Um have you played Donkey Kong 64?
dude, I can't even say no. I actually no. Yeah, I can say no. I have not played Donkey Kong 64. I was thinking back in my brain hole, and I only played Mario 64.
Dude, Donkey Kong 64, YouTube it. But to get back to God of War,
Yep.
I guess we could just kind of jump into the likes because I got to be honest, I got so much good to say about this
Hell yeah,
game.
give it to me. Give it to me, buddy.
Uh, the first thing I wanted to point out really was the lore and mythology.
Mm,
Like,
okay.
come on, these games have always been so good, and I mean, like, granted they take some liberties with their take and their the
Mhm.
way that they talk and portray the characters and stuff like that, but it teaches you, or at least it tells you about the existence of many mythological characters that really existed in mythology
Mhm.
that maybe you didn't know of.
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
Like I didn't know about the world snake, honestly. Like, I don't really know that much about Norse mythology, but like, obviously Thor, Odin, whatever, but there's so much that this game touches on
Yeah.
and shows
Oh,
you in
dude.
such a great way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, my it touching on the whole lore aspect, like I loved the fact that like all like the journal entries like that you find that you have to like, scan or whatever and then it brings up something.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful way of not only do they allow the actual description of whatever the situation is to the reader in the pause menu, but then it's also fun that his son Artreus is also teaching him, oh well, mom told me this, and if you didn't know, here it is. You know what I mean? Like it's that
Yeah.
fun little father son banter as well too.
Absolutely. And honestly,
Yeah.
that touches right on another thing that I had on my likes subject was the father-son dynamic.
Yes,
Like,
100%. And like to me, the father and son dynamic, it's not. It's almost like like a military kind of situation. Like father who always jumps from base to base, and the son who's just trying to make daddy proud kind of situation, right? But like at the same time, daddy ain't just a military general. Dad's literally the Greek god of war.
it's I never even really thought of it that way. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Right? Like,
Um,
because it's because the whole time it's like he's like yes, they're doing this task for mom, but at the same time, it sure seems like Kratos has just kind of been grunting his way through his child's existence.
yeah, like he always felt like the father who was like more worried about, going to work and sustaining a career and a safe life for the kid.
Yep.
Because like, I mean, this episode straight up, it's going to be very spoiler heavy because this is an extremely, narrative heavy game. Like it's all story.
Yes. Of
Um
course.
so I mean, I'll try my best to kind of keep it spoiler. I'll keep the big spoilers until the end, like Atreus's true,
Right,
whatever.
his
Like,
prophecy.
yeah, like we can dump that at the end, but like,
Mhm.
so for anybody who doesn't know, if you haven't played this game and this is your before you buy, essentially,
Mhm.
first off, it's 2024. What are you doing? Go play it. uh Secondly, so the game essentially starts out with and in the first 20 minutes it starts out with this. So you play as Kratos, obviously, and you have a son, Atreus. And if you've played the first few games, he did not have a son. He used to have a daughter, but that's a different story.
Mhm.
Um, so your wife died, unfortunately. We don't know. I don't remember exactly how, whatever, but you are creating a funeral pyre. You burn her body, and now you are on this grand mission to bring her ashes to where she wanted them spread. So very similarly to Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, you end up on a lot of sidetrack shenanigans on your way there.
That is such a good explanation, dude. I love it. I love it. Please continue.
I mean, that's basically it. So like, yeah, you basically start out. It introduces who Kratos is now. He's kind of this, weathered, aging god of war, ex god of war, I guess.
Mm,
And he has fled Olympus and he has fled Greece entirely to seek refuge and kind of hide in the Nordic area of whatever.
yeah,
Um,
whatever dimension or whatever, realm that this whole universe takes in, right?
Yeah, like it's still Earth technically, I guess. He's just now, he just jumped from book to book.
Yeah, definitely.
So he I guess, he meets a woman who we'll say who she is later, but um in the first 20 minutes of the game, like it introduces Kratos, it introduces you to his son, and then it introduces you to your first and I guess major enemy of Balder. Uh
Mhm.
and that is an awesome fight.
Oh my god. Literally, dude, I remember sitting at, like inches from my TV screen, just like, who the fuck is this? And how did he do that? Like
Yeah, right.
that first clock where Kratos just goes up and over the house. I was like, God damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, okay,
Oh,
guy covered in tattoos, definitely important, but
mhm.
didn't expect that important. I didn't know it was Balder at first. I mean, I don't think any
Yeah.
of us did.
Right, and for those, for those listeners who aren't aware of Greek myth or Norse mythology, my apologies. Balder the Brave he's technically one of Odin's sons, right? Like he's technically Thor's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's one of the many gods within the Asgardian realm, and unfortunately, at this point in time, when he decides to meet up with Kratos, he's on an anger path for whatever reason may be, and trust me, it pays off because that whole fight is one of my most favorite probably game intros ever. I would
Oh,
say,
so good.
yeah, incredible,
Dude,
incredible.
you're gonna smack me for saying this. I
Oh
gotta be
boy.
honest. When I first played this game, it was like 2019,
Okay.
and I played the first like hour of it, and as soon as I got past that boss or that like quote unquote boss fight,
Mhm.
I put it down and didn't touch it for like 2 years.
What? How could you? How
And
could
like
you do
this is
that?
because you know what it was, and for anybody who plays a lot of video games or used to at some point in their life, whatever, I'm sure you can relate to this. Like I was real hot off of finishing Persona 5.
Okay.
And I mean, like, so hot, like, I finished Persona 5 probably at like 11 o'clock at night the night before and tried to pick up God of War like the next day. And I woke and I was just like, I can't,
Right, like
I'm not
you
there
were
yet.
so shot, you played and you're like, I just can't right now. Oh wow.
Yeah, like I played this 160-hour JRPG anime experience. I'm still processing what I just played, and I don't have it in me to jump into something with the full appreciation that I know it deserves.
True. Okay, yeah, that makes sense as to why you would wait 2 years.
And also
Yeah.
like I had been burned a couple of times. I'm not okay. So anybody can shit on me for saying this, but I am not a big fan of the Souls-like games. You know, Bloodborne, Dark Souls. I've tried. I've tried so many times. I've tried with Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Code Vein, fucking Bloodborne. Like I've tried so many times to get into these games. And when I first picked up God of War and you know played that new combat style,
Mm.
I I thought that it was going to be that. I just
Ah,
couldn't get into it.
I got you. I got you.
It wasn't for a couple of years when I finally spoke with somebody and they were like, "No, dude." They're like, "It's keep playing it." And he was just like, "Just get to the lake."
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, because once you get to the Lake of Nine, that's when the story just expands.
Yeah. And that's like
Yep.
I was like, okay, fine." And so reluctantly like I went home and I sat down and I started it from the beginning again because I forgot. And
Mhm.
I got to the lake and I just sat there looking at my TV like, "Fuck, he was right."
Like, God damn it, he was right.
Yeah, I was like, ah, shit, here goes 60 hours. Or whatever
Hell
it
yeah.
was.
Yeah, man.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think one of
it's
my next like about it for sure is getting to the realm travel tower within Lake of Nine,
yeah.
and once they just keep expanding and explaining how the gameplay is going to be as per their universe that they've created. It's so freeing, not freeing, but like it's almost imaginary, like your imagination just gets to run rampant with holy shit, like what could happen at this place, because if this is what they've said it's like how would they have, how are they going to go about it, you know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
I just loved the imagination to it and the life that it brought.
Dude, yeah, it had so many like endless possibilities, and especially if you're
Hmm.
already a fan of different lore and stuff like that, like you're thinking to yourself like, where could this go? You know,
Right.
like even if all you know about Norse mythology is from like the Thor movies, that still
Yeah,
gives you an idea of like, holy shit, what is around the next corner? I need to know. And
exactly, right.
or like what's
Yeah.
in the next realm. And like, dude, yeah, when you get to that tower and you're finally able to see like the nine realms and you're like, okay, this one's blocked off, this one I can't go to. It's like, why are they here then? You know, it's like I understand
Hmm.
they're following the mythology, like it would be wrong for them to not put it in, but at the same time, it's like they're not going to put it in here for no reason.
Of course, it's like, okay, so if and then, again, just with the way storytelling goes, the way that they eventually gain access to different points and different, realms of existence is just it's so fun.
Oh yeah.
It's just awesome.
And this game is such a masterclass example of storytelling. I mean,
Oh,
you could say
yeah.
that for the whole God of War series, but this game really just they
Nailed it out of the
reinvented the
park.
cake. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're 100%. They reinvented the cake on that because, like, with the aspect of Kratos' son Atreus knowing everything that his mother taught him and what he can remember since she just recently died. And then also now they introduced Mimir, the
Yeah.
headless
Oh
man,
yeah.
the bodiless man who's essentially the one guy in Norse mythology who will and has seen it all. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So like having him as just that extra chirp in the ear, kind of like a Jarvis to Tony Stark situation. And like everything that just came out of his mouth was just straight fucking beauty, no matter what it was, whether it was a joke or some sort of oh brother, did you know that? Like it's
Yeah.
it, it's so fun.
And dude, like dude, I'm so glad you brought that up because like Mimir, this game, the way that they designed this game in just every way is so perfect, and there's so many different things I want to jump on here, and I won't whatever. But the way that like they don't leave a lot of emptiness in this game, whether you're
Yes.
like what you just reminded me of was like when you, because this game does have a lot of like open world element to it, so you can
Mm,
backtrack, you can kind of go wherever you want. Um, where the first few games were very linear, and they did a lot of
mhm.
looping, so it would bring you back around to an area that you were, but it doesn't allow you to just openly explore it. This game, however, changed that, and with the Lake of Nine, they allow you to get on a boat and really explore this whole area. But when you're on the
Yep.
boat, a lot of games might take that and make that just empty dead air, like boring time. They might fill it with some
Right.
music or whatever, but
Exactly.
every time you get on the boat, Mimir is talking with either Atreus or you, or telling a story or a joke or a limerick, whatever,
Mhm.
filling you in on more of the lore. Everything you see has an explanation.
Yes. Yes, and, like, honestly, dude, and the fact that you said that, it makes me remember, like, there's at least 1 or 2 moments where, like, Artreus will say something, Mimir will answer, and like you don't see it unless you rotate that camera 360 and like look for it, and then like, oh, well, that's what they're explaining. That's
Yeah.
pretty fucking cool. Like that, it perfect, perfect, add on to that. Yeah, the,
Yeah.
the boat travel is very common to me because like sometimes, dude, and like what's great about that is like he could be Mimir will be mid sentence on something. You decide to get off the boat and pull up to shore. He'll be like, "Oh, I'll finish that story later." And then 9 times out of 10, you could just get off the boat, get right back on, wait 30 seconds, and then he'll start talking about what he was just talking about.
Yeah, it's like the game
Yeah.
has its own fucking personal little memory, and like it knows exactly where it left off in conversation. So
Mhm.
it's like you don't have to worry. Like I would find myself sitting there waiting for him to finish his story or his joke or whatever. But
Right.
like you don't have to. You can just literally get up and go off on your own little adventure and then come back and he'll finish telling you what he was telling you 10, 15 minutes ago.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
awesome. And it does fill
Hell
you
yeah.
in. Like it'll like when you finish doing like a major plot point or something like that and you get on a
Mhm.
boat or you're walking around and whatever, like he is also now sometimes explaining what you just did but in simpler
Right.
terms.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, it
It's
did.
so good.
There's just yeah, man. And I love, like I said, like going back to like the Jarvis and the Tony ear. I love that extra, the extra guy, whether it's the
Yeah.
guy on the couch or the guy hanging off the belt loop.
Yeah. And like the way that you've said it too, like where the way that this game brings you the knowledge, like the way that it delivers it to you. It's not
hmm
like a lot of games out there. Like one another thing that I respect like Dark Souls for, but I don't enjoy it for is like there is a story. There's a very, very detailed, in-depth story. However, you have to find it.
Right, right.
This game delivers
Puts
it
it,
to you. There are
yeah,
some
on a fucking golden platter.
Yeah, but in like such a creative way because like you said, either like Atreus will be explaining something to you or you'll find it in one of those cabinets or you'll
Mhm.
very rarely is there something to like read
Mm,
because they do
yeah.
explain it to you in some creative way.
Yes, very true. And even still, like the descriptions of whether it be different characters that you have to battle or certain things that you can find that'll aid you, like the descriptions they're not like blown out of proportion in the sense of like it's easy to read, easy to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like a lot of times I've noticed with any kind of game, like sometimes you go to like you just want to, hey, how did I do that one trick, or hey, how did I do that one slicing move, and then you gotta like read through fucking 18,000 words worth of shit just to be like press X 3 times. You know
Dude.
what I mean? Like,
It's like when you're trying to fucking
uh,
find a new cooking recipe or something and you have to read through somebody's entire life story before you
yeah,
get to
just
like, oh yeah,
how
you
did
need
you
three
make
cans
the
of this.
gazpacho?
Yeah, dude. Like I made oh my god, I have a couple recipes that I have saved in my phone because I enjoy them and a couple of like crock pot chili or something like that. And it's like
Yeah,
a crock pot chili. How fucking difficult do you think that is?
it
I
shouldn't
don't
be
need to
difficult.
hear about how you were backpacking on the PCH or PCT and you came across this bearded wizard on the fucking trail. It's like I don't care. It's cool, but
Who said use Hormel instead? Like, no. No one gives a shit. Tell me about the chili.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
man. So what
Mhm.
else do you have written down as a like on this?
So one of the things I liked is the when it comes to the magic aspect of it, it's very um kind of it's not so magical in the scientific, fantasy kind of magic. It again stems from that Norse lore of the earth is the main battery to life and everything comes from underneath, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like
Okay.
the way Freya's house is a continent sized turtle.
Dude,
Like
that blew my mind.
right? Like she waves her arms, says a chant, and then out of nowhere, just this big ass fucking 80,000-year-old turtle stands up. Like it's so fascinating because it really should like to me, someone who has a massive imagination, like it it makes you think like, well, how much of this is someone thinking of, and how much of this is something that someone heard from somewhere, something thousands of years ago? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I love the play. Like I said again, the playfulness of it, the imagination to it is just, I
It's
can't say
it,
anything bad.
it is such a world of wonder, like the way that they laid it
Very
out.
true. Very true. Yeah,
I'm so glad you brought up her house, dude.
dude.
That
Right? Yeah.
when I
That
first
and like, what's up?
no, you go, you go.
I was just saying, just like, and not only is it, it's hidden to the point where like obviously you can only enter when the turtle's standing up, but then there's that secret hatch that then goes underground, and then there's this huge cavern that then will lead back out to like another area. Like that I love too, because it almost gave that sort of Batman Batcave feel. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
you're going in on one area of the map and you're coming out somewhere completely different.
Yeah. That's so cool, dude. It blew my mind like the first time that I like saw that house, the way that it moved. Cuz like at first you're just like in this garden or whatever and you're
Right.
like you don't really think anything of it and then all of a sudden like you have this, interaction cutscene with her and then she does what you just said and the whole house shifts and you're like, "What the
Yep.
fuck?"
Yeah,
That
dude.
was so cool.
Yeah, and I remember when like first time playing through that scene, and then even like the first time with Jormungandr, the World Serpent. Like I remember just like because they give you that moment, like obviously between cutscene and back to gameplay, where there's that
Yeah.
like almost like moment of like camera clarity where they just allow the camera to do whatever. I stared at the World Serpent, or I stared at Kratos staring at the World Serpent on my TV for the better part of 20 minutes. Just like, this is so fucking beautiful.
Dude, it was insane. And
Hmm.
that actually like that leads to one of the things that I have written down here perfectly. It's the scale of everything. And no
Yes.
pun intended with the serpent, but uh like that's one thing that God of War that's always like brought me to the series is that the scale of everything is so impressive. Like even back to the first game, like when you're fighting Ares and like you go
Yes.
from walking on that bridge that is a sword to then picking up that bridge as a sword. And like the second
Yeah,
game
dude.
when you're climbing on the Titans, like it so good.
Yes, 100%. The scale of, you know, it just the fact that in these stories, whether it's movies, video games, actual story, actual written on paper, they always say these big beings, these celestial beings were just mountainous.
Yeah.
And to see something like that be portrayed in the perfect manner, it's like it's incredible because like as the game portrays, like with the World Serpent, with Jormungandr, which by the way I love all the Norse names, so like Jormungandr is so fucking fun to say. But
Yeah.
like they show him move around, you see the whole earth is shaking, he's like he destroys he destroys the statue of Thor, and then later in the game you actually go inside the World Serpent, and it's
Ah,
literally like its own world, and it's inside of something, like
yeah.
it's just and that again like brought back to like the previous games, like when you're inside Kronos trying to fight your way out of him, you know what I mean? Like, and you get that whatever the hell the blade was called, and you just slice his stomach open. The whole fucking world is just on fire.
Oh
Oh, I
yeah,
love
dude. Like Santa Monica Studios' take on the Alaskan bullworm was just chef's kiss.
it. It's so I love it. You just called out the Alaskan bullworm. Oh yeah. What's even better is that this weekend I'm going to a buddy's house and him and his wife are throwing a jellyfish jam because
Oh
it is
hell yeah.
the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. And obviously, SpongeBob costumes are not only encouraged but mandatory. So my fiance and I will be dressing up as the two rednecks from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I said that to her. She's like, I don't get it. And I pull up the mustard and ketchup clip on YouTube, and she goes, "That's who you want to dress up as?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking hysterical. It's a knee slapper. Come on."
Dude, you gotta send me pictures of that. That's so
Oh yeah,
good.
most definitely, most definitely. But we
Um
gotta keep on track. No more SpongeBob.
Oh shit. I did get
Ah,
sidetracked. I forgot what I was gonna
a
say
little
after that.
bit.
I'm so sorry.
You quoted the Alaskan bullworm in Santa
Oh,
Monica Studios.
I wanted to say, speaking of scale,
Yes.
am I crazy for remembering this? 'Cause, again, it's been a few years since I played the game, but when you go to hell later in the game,
Hmm.
there's a point where you can see, like, you're kind of at the end of where you
Mm-hmm.
would be trekking to, and like way off in the distance, there's like the gatekeeper.
Yeah, that giant bird.
That thing was fucking sick.
Dude, yeah. I don't remember if they necessarily expanded on the explanation of that being in the game, but I obviously I don't remember any of it now, but I remember reading up on it online, and it's so again some sort of Norse mythological being that gatekeeps hell, the Hell Dominion,
Yeah.
and yeah. But what
Because
were
I
you gonna
just,
say about it?
no, I just like going off of scale because, like, when you're there, you don't really get anywhere close to it.
Right, and it's still a massive being.
It's
Yeah,
so massive, it's so
right.
detailed, and it's so far away.
Oh yeah, and I
It's like,
remember
it's
what?
threatening. Like, it's
Yeah,
scary.
and yes,
Kind of.
and to caveat to that, if you notice it while you're at that like that last platform where you're looking at that being, no matter where you're moving, it's watching you.
Yeah.
And dude, I when that clicked to me, I was a bit stoned while playing, and I'm like, "Stop fucking talking to me."
Dude, I
Yeah.
just wanted to highlight that because, like, going off of
Oh yeah.
scale, that thing was so cool.
Definitely cool. And I know another like creature within the game was like any of those I think they're trolls though, or maybe they're not troll, maybe it's an ogre or something. The thing that always has like the big rock with it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those things I always loved fighting those because, like, for the scaling reasons, like Kratos is, let's say, 6.5, 7 foot tall. These things are towering almost 20, and that just last kill strike where he can, you just climb up onto it, you grab that stone with the axe, and then just yank it down onto its head.
Oh,
Oh, talk
dude.
about glory.
I gotta say, from kind of like a sick standpoint, I mean, like, not to fetishize it or nothing, but I'm not gonna yuck
End
anybody's
it.
yump. But like, one thing about these games that's always just been like oddly satisfying is just the sheer brutality of it.
Yes, a
Like,
100%.
whether you're ripping off a demigod's head or
Yep, or
you're
bashing
just
another demigod's face in.
yeah, like, or cutting off the Hydra's heads, what, or like dragging it down onto a pike, like
Yep.
whatever it is. And like this game held no punches.
Oh, no, didn't hold back one bit.
It's kind of beautiful.
No. Ah, dude, unbelievably beautiful. Like, I love one of my favorites, and I forget the name of the demons that you fight, but those hellfire ones. Like anytime Kratos just grabs it, one hand on the neck, the other hand on the shoulder, and you're just ripping it in half.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's pure fucking power and rage right there, dude.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, makes my fucking nipples hard.
I am so goddamn erect.
Yes.
I wanted to touch on one other. Let me see. There's a couple of small things I wanted to touch on
Okay.
before we jump like into spoiler territory hard.
Yes.
So one of the things is the going back to the level design, and one thing that I kind of touched on a little bit when I was talking about the previous mainline titles.
Right.
And one thing that God of War titles have always done, and I really do commend Santa Monica Studios for this, because it's just the way they do it and pull it off is perfect. But the
Mm.
ways that the levels are designed and the way that they do loop, like
Mhm.
you will spend 3 hours on one trail, just walking down, doing all this crazy shit, going down one path, and then
Right.
all of a sudden it's kind of like Dark Souls does it a lot of the same way, and there are a lot of ways I compare these two games, but then at these, all of a sudden at the end of this 3 hour adventure, you're like, oh fuck, I gotta trek all the way back. It's like, no, dude, just open this door, you're
Yeah,
back.
exactly. Yeah. Yep, dude. That's what I love too. Is that because you get that thought process of, well, dude, I just had to fucking battle all this. I just ran past half of them. I had to jump all over this. I had to slide all under that. Like, do I have to do that again? Nope. Just go
Yeah.
right through.
And then that's like, to go off of what you said earlier about just the way that the world expands. Like
Mm-hmm.
it does it in such a cool way.
Yes. Realm travel, my
Yeah.
favorite.
Oh yeah. And one of the other things I wanted to touch on is the weapon upgrades, like the I guess we can kind of like loop in like the skill tree and like the weapon upgrades, as well as like the armor upgrades and customization, stuff
Yeah,
like
and like
that.
the ability upgrades and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, and the different runes you can add to it. Like, I'm just briefly
Mm-hmm.
going to touch on this because there's not like a lot of different games do this nowadays. I thought that the way that this game did it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't too much. A lot of games are like, there's just, you spend so much time in menus that it's,
Right, just picking and sorting. Oh, this is gonna go good with this because this it says it's the same color or the same fucking power stance or some shit like that. Yeah, I totally agree. It's sometimes you're spending too much time on the pause menu just prepping.
oh yeah, and a couple of games
Yeah.
that really did that, like, to the nth degree. And I'm not even going to get into like the Baldur's Gates or nothing like that.
Hmm.
But like The Witcher 3, I remember spending a lot of time in menus, as well as like Hogwarts Legacy, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dude, honestly, I've only got about 3.5 hours into Hogwarts Legacy, and it was a lot of pause time for me, and that's what like drew me off of it. I'm like, dude, like I just want to fucking fly a broom and fight some bad guys. Like,
Yeah. Like
yeah,
I do want to make an episode about Hogwarts Legacy, and if you're willing to stick out that game, I'll try to fight my way through it as well, and because I never finished it either. But I think that we should totally do an
dude, I
episode about
wouldn't be
that.
opposed to that. Maybe. I mean, here we are now, halfway through the year. Maybe we give ourselves like 4 or 5 months, really crank through it, and then like touch back on it at the end of the year.
You know what? I don't know
Wouldn't be a
about
bad
you.
idea.
Hogwarts always makes me think of either Christmas or Halloween, so I say we do a holiday episode for
Yo,
that game.
good idea. I like that idea a lot,
All
actually.
right, hold me
Especially,
to it.
yeah, let's do it. All right,
Let's
we'll
make it happen.
put her in the books, babe. Hell
um,
yeah.
the last real thing I wanted to touch on as a major like before we jump into the spoiler category is
Right.
the optional challenges, like the Valkyries, like the dragons. I thought they were fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. The yeah, the dragon, that was what? That was the dragon was technically the friend of the brothers, right?
Well, there were three of them, I think.
Oh, yeah,
You
see,
had
I
to
didn't do
find
the
them.
other two. Yeah, I didn't do the other two. I only did the first one.
Yeah,
Whoops.
the first time that you find one, I forget if they make you find one for the story or if they're all optional, but I remember like the first time I found one, I was way too underleveled because it's kind of like a combat challenge. It's like a gauntlet, like wave challenge, and you have
Oh, yeah.
You have to do it all while avoiding the dragon's.
The breath, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, yeah, now I remember. Yeah, I think that was like I think that one was story crucial.
yeah, it's kind of like a
Mhm.
platforming puzzle slash combat challenge, and
Mhm.
once you defeat it, you do get some special rewards. Um,
Right.
I thought that was just a really cool touch, and then also like what the fuck are they called? Like the void challenges, like when you reach into the void and like you pull out an enemy or you like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are, what do they call them? I think they call them like, realm rifts or realm
Yeah,
tears or something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, those are fun too, because like, and with that, even still, sometimes it's a right away battle, and then you'll get some sort of, like pickup reward, or right away it's some sort of pickup reward depending on where you're at, which is super cool.
I love that they were totally optional.
Hmm.
Like you could go up to whatever platform or wherever they were and collect the chest that's around it.
Right.
But if you wanted to do that extra challenge to get that little bonus reward, you could. Like I liked that like it wasn't like as soon as you walk near it, it automatically starts. Like you had to interact with it. I thought that was really well done. But I will say I laughed my ass off the first time that I encountered one of them
Oh yeah.
because yeah, because I walked up to one and this was like right when I first got the ability to explore the Lake of Nine,
Okay.
and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And I walked up to it and like I stuck my hand in it or whatever, and just I didn't move because I didn't know, and instantly this axe came out of it and just whacked me, one-shotted me, killed me right on the spot. Dude, I
Oh.
I laughed so hard. I was like, "Well, I'm not making that fucking mistake again."
That's hilarious.
And if anybody just heard my headset say charge complete, I am sorry. Uh,
No, I didn't hear it, so you're good on my end.
I've always heard like when I do my live streaming, like because right now I'm charging my headset, and
Okay.
like apparently the audio from my headset saying charge complete goes through my mic.
No shit.
So I don't know. We'll see in
That's
editing.
wild.
But how about we get into
Mm.
some realm or some spoiler territory? Do you have anything
Yeah,
else for
send
likes?
it. Um, I love, the story of Brock and Sindri, the brothers. I
Yes,
I love their dynamic. I mean, at
the
first,
petty banter.
yes, the banter is typical brother banter.
Oh
And
yeah.
as an older brother and a younger brother, I can attest, like, I was back and forth on whose side I was on in the argument because like they both raised some pretty good fucking points, you know what I mean? Like, but their story and their growth is another, just like a welcoming full circle story that brings together great characters for an overall just great gaming experience.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
I
definitely.
to go off of Brock and Sindri, like I love that one of them is such a major OCD germophobic
Oh, OCD
character.
clean freak, right?
Yeah, while the other is literally so dirty that he's blue from it.
That is a different color, exactly.
He is head to toe a completely different
Yep.
color because he did not wear the certain safety protections to work on certain metals. Like it, dude, that dichotomy was so good when
Hell
you
yeah, it
find that
was.
out.
Hell yeah, dude. It's like I said, those little types of details is what makes it a great game.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Definitely, definitely. All right, so what's a spoiler you want to throw out first? Let's talk about it.
Well, just to think about some of the story moments that really stand out to me. Um, One of the ones that I can't get out of my head right now, and I hope that you enjoy this as well, was the cinematic to get into hell. I forget what the realm is actually called. Um,
Helheim.
Thank you. How did I
Yes.
wait? Is it Helheim or Niflheim?
Ooh, wait a second.
I think it's Niflheim.
I think you're right. It is Niflheim.
Um,
Yeah.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
the
Continue.
cinematic fighting Baldur and everybody to get into hell,
Yes.
as well as the giant ship fight sequence to get out.
Yo, that fucking that whole ship sequence had my heart pounding out of my chest like Bugs Bunny when he sees Lola. Like I was like, "Oh my god, what am I doing?"
Dude, it was so chaotic but so
Yes.
good, and the like it's just all over the place.
And honestly, my to even step backwards in the story when when Kratos realizes it's time to go to hell and he goes back to the house to get his blades. Oh man,
Oh my god.
oh dude, it like I got up off of my seat like as he's just like walking into that house and
Dude, same.
that Greek like that just ominous music of fucking hell's about to come, baby. Like, oh, it gets me fired up, dude.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever felt more powerful, just
Right.
genuinely powerful in any
Yes.
video game ever than when he goes back to his house to uncover the Blades of Chaos.
Oh yeah, dude. Cause like, and honestly, as you know, as someone who, clearly hasn't played all of the other God of War games, and like, in some scenarios, people don't know why they started the 2018 game the way they did. So it's like you're sitting there, it's like, okay, this is Kratos, this is the God of War, but like why do I have a frost axe? You know what I mean? Like that was my
Yeah.
thought process for a little while. It's like, yeah, this is cool, but like where the fuck's the OGs, dog? And then as soon as they come into play, you're like, oh, so this is gaming. Like cuz
Yeah.
because it starts bringing you back to how the game was played on that linear plane aspect, and just the straight destruction of spinning in circles at like 1,000 miles an hour with these fire blades at the end of your hands, just fucking destroying everything. And that comes back, and you just like that whole like you step out of the house and you have to get through that clan of guys first just to move on, and
Yeah.
you're just just hacking away like you intended to.
You are just yeah, like
Oh,
Kratos is just in such a state of just rage and power,
rage.
and like
Yeah.
you sit there and like anybody who hasn't played the first few games,
Hmm.
it just doesn't hit. It can't hit the
Exactly.
same. Like because
Exactly.
when you and I who have had that experience finally get those blades of chaos, bro, talk about hard nipples. Oh my god. I was so
Oh
turned
yeah.
on.
Oh
That was
yeah.
like I felt you feel like a god, and
You do.
I fuck man, I'm so glad you brought that up. I keep saying that,
Yes.
but like there's just so many good points to everything about
Hmm.
what you just said.
Definitely. And I just, I will not say I'm good in any sense of the word, but like every once in a blue, I like to play around with the photo mode, especially if you're in like a good fight scene and you can like get a good pause and the character is in a perfect position. Like my favorite anything is when either just like after a big berserk where the blades are glowing red,
Mm.
or like my favorite type of picture is like when you go and you throw the blades out at someone, it catches them, and then you whip them and it like catches them on fire. God say less.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I guess sort of sidetrack, changing subject to to another thing, but like speaking of moments where like you just felt like, oh my god, yes, finally. Like
Mhm.
this game. So we're still heavily in spoiler territory now. But
Of course.
when you first start this game and you're introduced to Atreus,
Mhm.
he's this sick, kind of like weak kid who, you look at him and you're like, Kratos is your father? Because
Yeah.
he's a fraction of your size, and he's coughing. He seems like very ill. And
Mhm.
we come to find out that it's because he is suppressing the fact that he is a god. And
Yes.
when he finds out, it's such a great sequence because I think it's when you end up in Niflheim. Or no, you end up in Niflheim because he's a cocky little shit.
Right.
So he has this whole arc where like he starts out as like the sweetest kid. He's so nice. He's very humble. He's smart. He's, definitely takes after his mother. But
Mhm.
he I forget exactly what the instance is where you, as Kratos, you grab him by the shoulders and you say in his face, "Is like because I'm a god," and like you
Right.
you kind of give it to him like this is who you are.
Mhm.
Like you need to know this now.
Right,
I've
like, you
tried
gotta
suppressing this
understand.
from you,
Yep.
and then
And
once that,
for
oh, I'm sorry, what?
no, okay, I was just gonna try and say something, but I honestly had no thought. Keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say, but like, because then after that point, you see the growth and this really big change with Atreus. And listen, I've never hit a kid, but boy, he turns into the cockiest little shit.
Oh, yes, dude, like, yeah, because then he's like, "Oh, dude, I could do whatever I want, bro." Like,
Yeah,
it's yeah, he has that cocky little, "You can't tell me shit" attitude. It's like, "You know what, dude? Shut the fuck
yeah,
up."
like he clearly like he doesn't understand that, especially as a god or as
Mm,
in the position that he's in, his his choices have consequences, major consequences, and he
yep,
does not see the repercussions of his actions until he gets them landed in Niflheim,
exactly.
because he decided that he could go up against someone that he was clearly outmatched.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And I mean, just that whole sequence of Kratos finally telling him, because you're like a good 15, 20 hours into the game
Oh,
before
definitely.
Kratos even brings it up.
Mhm.
And when he finally brings it up, and then you have a few hours of Atreus, having this massive attitude shift, he becomes just this angsty preteen,
Right.
and then just like from there you have these incredible cinematic experiences where you have such growth between not only Atreus but Kratos as well.
Mhm. Definitely. Yeah, because he's almost, going back to what you had said about, he essentially like, left and or outcasted himself from Olympus, and now he's just like almost on this path of just serenity and being a docile being, and you start to see him, accept his surroundings and want to know more about where he is because of the woman he once loved and the son that he now protects.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like it's so, if for anybody who has played this series from the beginning, like it's so crazy. I think about it and it blows my mind, because if you really think about the story of Kratos and where he started, he is the color that he is because he literally wears the ashes of his first wife and daughter.
Yep.
And then to see the growth of him as a father to another person, and it's so like, I don't know, it's endearing, it's nice the way that the game goes, and it's
Mm.
got its peaks and valleys of emotion. It's a roller coaster of emotion, but it's so
Oh,
fucking good.
100%. It really is. Yeah. And the way that they got, touching on the just the emotional roller coaster aspect of it, like anytime the mother gets brought up, it instantly goes from whatever type of mood they're in to, oh fuck, that's right, what would mom have done? We can't figure this out without her, so we got to think like her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that, I definitely did.
And then, like, to go off of what you're saying there, like, to then find out who the mother was.
Right, she was the last of the frost giants, dude.
She was their
Oh
queen.
my god. That's right, she was the queen of the frost giants. That's right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because she like the whole story starts with you having to, spread her ashes at the highest peak in the land, of all
Hmm.
9 realms, which happens to be in the land of the giants.
Right.
So, I'm gonna basically spoil the end of the game here, kind of, but like when you get to the land of the giants, finally, after your Harold and Kumar like adventure, you walk up this peak, and then you end up looking over the valley of all these dead giants, and you find some scripture just before that not only tells you that Atreus's mom was literally the queen of all giants, but then you find out who Atreus really is.
Right, which for those listeners who don't know, drum roll please. Brrr, he is prophesized as Loki, the god of mischief, which
Yeah.
that blew my fucking hair back, dude. Like, because, as the story progresses, one of the things that they have you do is you open up these old murals that were placed however many thousands of years ago, whatever. And it's the prophecy of the tale between the Asgard, the battle between the Asgardians and the Frost Giants. And then it all finally starts to come full circle when you start to realize that your mother is in those portraits. And then you start to see Kratos in those portraits. Then you
Hmm.
start to learn who Atreus really is and how he is a crucial part in what is to come with the land, the realm of Asgard and the entire 9 realms itself.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible.
It's yeah, dude, like when I hit the end of this game myself, like you said, dude, like the back of my head was painting the wall. Yeah, my mind was so blown.
Hell yeah, dude.
It just ugh. I can't say enough good things about this game.
Right. Yeah, no, there's literally I could smile at it all day because I never want to not play it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Oh
so
yeah.
phenomenal.
And when I hope they're still doing it when like they talked about Amazon making a show for God of War.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Oh, I got so excited.
If they're still doing that, that's a day one watch for me.
Oh, 100%, dude. I will rewatch it until the cows come home on that. Like but like at the same time, dude, I don't know, cause I mean, Amazon Prime is killing it right now with a bunch of different stuff. You know what I mean? So who knows if that's even on their slate or if
Yeah.
they just set it to try and get do like some sort of media press for their games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know because I feel like you can't take a game in a game franchise as big as God of War. A game that has won game of the year and has been around for 20 years and is
Mm-hmm.
top of the fucking charts on PlayStation. You can't
That's
just
true.
take a name like that, say something like that and then not do it.
Yeah, yeah. So so with that thought process you just laid out makes me think that hopefully they're doing right by it, and it's gonna take a little while for any sort of content to release because they want it to be right.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
they did Fallout, right? Amazon did?
Pretty sure that was yeah, I'm pretty sure Fallout was on Prime.
Yeah. You did you watch that?
I have not yet, no, but the couple friends I have that have seen it have said it's a fucking phenomenal iteration of the games.
Bro, they
Which and
nailed Fallout.
I unfortunately never played any of the Fallout games, so I have nothing to go off of. But
Oh,
from what
buddy.
I'm told, is it was a great show.
Yeah, if they yeah, I'm 99% sure that Amazon did Fallout, but like Fallout was great. And if that is the direction that we can or the bar that is set for the quality of video
Hmm.
game adaptation TV shows. I mean, dude, many different, you know, companies are doing these video game TV shows. You got fucking The Last of Us on HBO. You got Fallout on Amazon. You got, I mean, we're not going to mention Resident Evil on Netflix, but like so many people are now making these movies and TV shows, and it is a renaissance of video game adaptation media, and it is so good now. So
Oh
I
yeah.
hope that whatever they do with God of War, they nail it.
Oh, definitely. That would. Oh, that would be such a I can't even start to think of where they would even pick up on like a God of War storyline, whether they, like they give us something we've already seen or create something entirely new.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll hit it if they take the time and respect it and actually, follow through with character designs alone, because that's half the battle with trying to make something from something is,
Yeah.
keeping it as consistent as possible to what everybody already knows.
Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, like, all they gotta do, really, is just copy the story from the games. It's already
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Don't take too many liberties. Just literally copy and paste the story
Yep.
from the, because I don't know. It would do my heart good to see more people who wouldn't play these games experience this story, because like we said in the very beginning of this episode, this is an absolute masterclass of storytelling, and I
Hmm.
want more people to experience it.
Yes. More people need to experience it, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So I mean, with that being said, I'm done. I say we slap a rating on this thing and we get out of here.
Hell yeah,
What do
dude.
you
What do
say?
you got for me?
Well, I don't know. I usually leave it up to the guests to pick what we rate the game out of. I was thinking maybe out of the 9 realms. Your choice.
Okay. I would say out of the 9 realms, dude, I give it I give it a solid 8.5, honestly, out of 9.
All right. That's
What about you? What do you got?
oh man, like I gotta give it a like an 8.9, honestly.
Okay. Okay.
Because I mean, there's a couple of things that we didn't touch on with this game. Like there are a couple of realms in this game that you unlock after you beat the game that
Right.
hold additional challenges. I forgot to even mention it, honestly, because I didn't really experience it. But
Mhm.
one of them's kind of like a roguelike dungeon where like every time you go in it, you have a certain amount of time because it's covered in gas, like you have a certain amount of time to uh
Oh
get
shit,
so far,
yeah.
and you expand your time limit, or you increase your time limit each section you clear. um that I didn't really care for, but I like games like that. uh
Right, yeah, because it's just, it's something extra to do at that point.
yeah, like this game holds quite a bit of additional content, so
100%.
there's still stuff to do after you beat the game, and it wants you to explore. Oh, real quick.
Yes.
Okay, 8.9, that's my rating. It's damn near a perfect game. I don't like the map. That's what makes it lose the point. However, did you shit, I already rated it. I'm going to go back into spoiler territory, kind of. Did when you beat the game, did you go back to Kratos' house and sleep in the bed?
Yes. Yes, I did. Yes. So you're talking about, so basically the literal last moment of the game to set up the next, right?
Yeah, that they don't tell you to
Yes.
do.
Yes.
Like you have
Yes.
to find that shit out of sheer curiosity alone.
Yep. Yeah. And then, for those who aren't aware, the big spoiler we talk about is Kratos goes to sleep after a long day and gets woken up in the middle of the night to a pounding at the door.
Yeah.
You open the door and it's just a giant storm of ruin outside, and you
Oh
can
yeah.
see some sort of just figure. And then what shows up at that last second? The fucking hammer and lightning bolts, baby.
Uh-huh.
Thor is in the house. Oh man,
Uh-huh.
I fucking lost my mind when I saw that, bro.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
which,
Oh
and
yeah.
just a little, not to say anything because it will get said when the episode comes. All I gotta say is every sequence with Kratos and Thor in God of War Ragnarok is just pure sex. Just like, oh, and dude, I don't even think I'm halfway through Ragnarok because, like I said, I've had other games to play. I also got a wedding to plan for, so I've been busy with that. But,
Congratulations,
like,
by the way.
thank you, thank you. It's actually 5 weeks away. July
Hell yeah.
13th is the day. Yeah, man. But, dude, God, just Kratos and Thor is the fight of the millennium, dude. It just you thought Kratos versus Ares was pretty dank. Nah, dude. Wait till you see him go up against Thor Odin's son, my guy. Oh, so incredible.
Hell yeah, dude. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
buddy.
I think that's it. So, dude, thank you for joining me. This was a great time recording this one. I've
Thank
been
you
looking
for
forward to this
having
one.
me, Rob. Dude, it is always an honor to be hanging out with you. And I love that you're, pushing through the fact that, life can beat you down every single day at work and you still are pursuing your dreams and doing a podcast like this. And I commend you 100%, bro. I just think it's so cool. I love listening to all the episodes, hearing all the different likes and dislikes of these games. And I love being a part of it. And I appreciate it.
Thanks, bro. That means a lot. And yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, this is just such a passion project, and I love having my buddies on here to talk games with me. Like, it's just so much fun to do. So
Fuck
thank
yeah,
you
dude.
again.
Of
Um,
course.
do you want anything? Do you got anything you want to plug? Anywhere people can follow you or find you or anything like that?
Um, I mean, I'm on Instagram. You can find me. My profile's called The Loud Guy in the Room. I mainly just like on my stories. I just post funny reels that I enjoy, and I've got my opinions on things. If anybody wants to hear them, hit me up. If not, if you got any hydraulic work that needs to be done on any machines, hit me up in Amityville, Long Island, New York.
All right, buddy.
That's all I
Sounds
got,
good.
my guy. Yes, sir.
Well, thanks again. And anybody, if you enjoyed what you heard today, please leave a like, leave a follow, leave a rating. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment. I love to hear from you guys. Send me a DM on Instagram at the Bards of Gaming. Shoot me a DM on Twitter or X at 2bardsofgaming with the number 2. You can find all the links to my socials and everything, as well as my email over on thebardsofgamingpodcast.com. And I absolutely had a great time with this episode. So thank you everybody for listening, and I'll see you next time.
Catch you guys later.
Thanks, bud.